Good morning. My name is Austin, and today I'll be taking you on a tour of my mom's Texas garden. I've spent a lot of time in this garden, and I'm really excited to introduce you to some of my favorite plant friends. Who knows what else we might find on the tour? Let's get started. So here we have some lemon balm. It's got a delightfully fresh, citrusy, lemony scent. A couple of leaves off of this plant brighten up a salad. And it's often used for flavorings in baking or in cooking to add a little bit of lemony flavor. So this plant does have antiviral and antibacterial compounds, which has made it a traditional favorite in compresses and poultices. Lemon balm is one of the great plants to have in your yard because it acts as an insect repellent. So we would agitate the leaves to release the scent, and then you can even rub it on your arms, on your neck. Smells great. To us, mosquitoes don't like it. Thank you, lemon balm. It's also known to be a relaxant, which makes it a really fun herb to grab a few leaves of and toss in your bath when you're wanting to unwind at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day, or whenever you want to relax. Hiya, Mama.
Hi, Austin. How are you?
Great. How are things looking over here today?
Great. I'm taking care of the rosemary and some of the other herbs.
It's looking good. Well, I was just giving a tour to some of our friends of the garden and sharing some of my favorites with them. Maybe you have a few plants you'd like to introduce.
Oh, I would love to. I'll start with the rosemary.
Sounds good. Take it away.
Thank you. Okay. Well, here we are with the rosemary plant. It is a plant, an herb that stays evergreen, which means I can use it all seasons, every season, summer, winter, spring, fall. For culinary uses, I will come out here and snip 2 or 3 4 to 6 inch stems. I'll go over and grab some of the oregano, some of the thyme, and even some of the onion tops and string them all together to stuff inside a chicken that I'm roasting. I'll also make that herb bundle when I'm getting ready to make a soup and put it in the pot. When the children were little and would get sick, I would bring big steaming bowls of water with rosemary clippings in them. Like so many of the other herbs in the garden, they have antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial properties, and it clears the air from a sick person. This is also another reason why herbs like this, like rosemary, are good to put in the bath, especially of somebody who's not feeling well. So that's rosemary. It's one of our beloved friends, gets a lot of use in the garden. And we have other friends here too. Let's go get to know some of the other ones.
Welcome to the pizza corner. In this part of our garden, we've got herbs that commonly go on your pizza. Thyme, some beautiful oregano here, a little bit of basil in the back. Enough for a bountiful Italian meal. And I just love having all this time on my hands. Time and time again, when we just can't find the time, we come out to the garden and there it is. The Romans used thyme as an antidote to melancholy, and even today its scent is regarded as a mood lifter. I know the smell of pizza sure lifts my mood. So this is my friend oregano. In addition to being part of the pizza garden, it is another pollinator-friendly plant. So if you're wanting to encourage the activities of bees in your garden or just support bees in general, this is a nice one to put in place. Thank you, oregano. So I could just grab some of this and throw it in my bath if I had stiff or achy joints or muscles. It's known as a relaxant and can really help provide some relief there. This is a little piece of garlic, a powerhouse as far as medicinal properties in addition to tasting great in your recipes. Antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. You definitely want to keep some garlic around. It's also a great companion plant that will deter pests from picking on whatever else you're growing nearby.
Here we are in the garden. This is the main vegetable bed. Here's our row of onions. We're going to try to open up the onions from the garden. You can't just pull them because they have a big bulb under there and you'll end up just pulling the tops off. So you want to get a pitchfork or any kind of large garden tool. These have fallen over, letting me know that they are definitely ready to come out of the ground. You put the pitchfork in under the onion and gently lift. So we've loosened the onions from the soil gently by nudging it a couple of times with the pitchfork. Ideally, we would leave them like that for a week, maybe 2, depending on the weather. If it rains, you want to pick the onions out and get them out of the garden. But we're going to be a little more aggressive and pull some up. Look at these beauties. And the wonderful thing about an onion is that you can use not only the bulb, but also the greens. And if you're lucky enough to have it flower, you can even eat the flower. The whole onion is edible. These would be great to separate out and put and plant in different parts of the garden. But there's your onions. Here we are in the corner of the garden with celery. I wanted to tell you about celery because I'm still getting to know it. Here's our celery plant. It doesn't look like the celery we buy in the grocery store yet. Last year we planted celery. The ends of the celery bulb that you get from the grocery store, we planted them in the ground and they grew and then they died. And I figured that was that. Well, this year I've got like 5 different celeries volunteering to come up. Celery is used as a digestive aid. It's helpful if you juice it. It's helpful if you put it in your smoothie. It's helpful if you just eat it out of your stew. It's wonderful for the body in more ways than I can even begin to get into right now. So it's worth giving it a try.
There are so many wonderful plant friends in the garden. And gardening is a fantastically reciprocal relationship. The plants encourage us out into the fresh air and the sunshine, where we're cultivating the soil and enjoying the flavors and benefits that they each have to offer. Thank you for joining us today on our tour and allowing us to share some of our favorites with you.
That's it for today. Thank you for joining us and hearing about some of the things we have going on in our garden. Bye.
Grapevine Library's got a great selection of books on gardening tips and tricks. Techniques that I can use in my garden this year. With your library card, you can access even more information from the comfort of your home through their online resources. You can reserve your books online and pick them up at the front desk or through the drive-through window.
Thank you.
What am I going to do with all this time on my hands?
It's soup stock. Sorry, I'm going to stop. Okay. I've got to fly.
Take one. Oh no! Thank you.
Thank you.
Great for information and for posture.
Stop, take that. Okay. Celery.
Thanks for joining us today. Be well, and we'll see you on our next adventure.